I'm not even like all the tables next to me were turned around. Like, good luck, man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I was like,
There's a place that I found that does like a spicy ramen bowl
oh,
that you can take to go. So I might if I lose the next one, I will be attempting that.
all right, that's a good one.
The
I'll
broth
also
is just straight red. It looks
cool.
like it might be bad.
All right, I'll find something similar here.
Just waiting on a few teams here. Looks
Oh
like.
yeah, should I send another Discord message telling people to join up? Should we come up with or not? I could just make it on Canva or something, but like a thumbnail that we use like every time we like post about us doing a mock or us posting about a live stream that we could just like throw up like every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
I
I
really
think
like
that's a
that
good
idea.
All right, cool.
Did you see this this clip of your Red Sox boy Jaron Duran, Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've been seeing
Just
tweets going in my
4K.
phone about it.
Just
Yeah, dude,
4K.
he said the F word.
Yeah, some dude was like, tennis racket, you need to be using a tennis racket. And he just looks at him and he goes, shut up, you fuck.
Dude,
I'll send you the clip. It's like
so
literally like wearing a mic. Like it is clear as day. It's not like it's like a lip reading. Like you could just hear him talk.
no. I wonder. I don't know if the MLB is gonna do anything.
No, probably not. But
Yeah, send that over.
I just texted to him. We just did our draft order for my like main league, and I'm drafting 13th in a 14 man. I don't know how I feel about it.
It'd be nice if somehow Gibbs fell. Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone might use him as their keeper because somebody took him in like the 3rd round, so I think
Oh,
they
yeah.
might take him there. But I had like a couple options of like running backs that were, or like Jaden Reed, I could have gotten in like the 10th or something, which like I would have been fine value, but I had the chance to take Stroud in the 15th round, so I was like, I feel like I gotta just do that, even though it's not the greatest positional value, but
Yeah.
I just will never have to worry about a quarterback, which is nice.
I think that's wise. Yeah, dude, this 18 team league that I did the draft for last night was so thin. Luckily, it
Your
was
team
like,
is pretty good considering it's an 18 team league, though.
yeah, I had to. It's pretty good, I'd say. I drafted for value. I kind of had to, so it's like I didn't get like a lot of the pieces that I was like trying to get just because of like the way other people were drafting. Like with 18 teams, it's like someone drafts a quarterback, then like five more people
Everybody
draft a
drafted, yeah.
quarterback in that round. Yeah.
Who's your first pick? Oh,
My
Tyreek.
first pick was Tyreek. Yeah.
I mean, like your running back room is pretty good, I feel like. And
Yeah.
Pittman's good.
No, I'm happy about it. Where did it? Let me see if there's anywhere where I'm like. No, I mean, like, I just wasn't like it's solid for that deep of a league. There's just like players that I'm not necessarily that excited about. You know,
Yeah,
like, it's like
yeah.
I have like Michael Wilson and Jacoby Myers, like David Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean the bench is going to be thin in that kind of league, though.
Yeah. Oh, nice. This guy Andrew S is tagging all these people for us.
Perfect.
In Discord. Cool.
Brian Thomas has a pretty hefty projection on that.
I know.
It's like over 11.
Yeah.
I really like
I can see
Brian
it.
Thomas now.
Yeah.
Like, if he's actually going to be in those 2 wide receiver sets, it could be really fun.
Has
like,
any news come out that would speak to that recently?
I mean, if you looked at the snaps, he was in 2 wide receiver sets with Gabe Davis, and Christian Kirk was not.
Yeah, I remember last year everybody was getting baited by the like
It was
Christian
Zay
Kirk
Jones
not being there.
Got injured though.
Yeah, but it was like everybody was convinced Christian Kirk wasn't going to be out there in 2 wide receiver sets, and then like he was better than Ridley, and it was a weird situation last camp. I feel like there were all those compilations of like Calvin Ridley running routes versus Zay Jones running routes.
I don't know.
We're
all I
live on
remember
talk
is
right
Zay
now,
got
right? Well,
injured. Yeah, I'm just kind of going back and forth trying to see. I don't know. It's always interesting trying to figure out like what is the most optimal way to technically get views. What I've noticed is like my rankings always tend to get views when I put those up here, but
Yeah.
these smaller streams like this don't really pop too much. Rate your team: Chase, Devontae Adams, Mixon, Cup, Dell, Burrow, Laporta, Kyron, Watson, Mostert. Fun team. Don't see the reasons why it wouldn't be terrible. But yeah, I don't know. Going to be an interesting year. Not sure what to make of Estime's performance, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not sure what to make of it. Well, I mean, when you get stripped and it gets returned for a touchdown, like that's just awful.
Yeah.
But like you also get like the preferred goal line role every single time Jaleel is out there, and you're also getting put in like receiving work as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We'll see.
I liked how many of the rookie quarterbacks actually played in preseason.
Dude, I'm excited this year. One of my bigger strats for fantasy, because people were asking me, I think Superflex might become a bigger thing than I've realized, at least for like leagues going forward. Because I'm getting a lot of Superflex questions now, and I think the most fun strategy is to take like a Jalen Hurts or one of those guys super early, and then just punt to get Drake, May, or Bo Nix. Like I know it doesn't sound sexy, but like those guys do mobile stuff. Like I don't know. JJ, yeah, he's gonna play probably this year, right?
Yeah, he can scramble too.
Like I don't see why not taking a
He
chance.
played like a full quarter and a half. He honestly looked pretty good. A couple nice
I
deep balls.
have not watched him yet, so that's why I haven't formed an opinion. But I do
He looked good
remember
this
hearing
weekend.
positive things.
The intangibles and everything you can kind of like project his ability to be, they're all there. Like there's nothing.
How can
he's
you
missing.
join
It's
the
just
draft on YouTube? Oh my
the pure numbers and production he had in college was the thing that people would be like, oh, he could just hand the ball off every time. He's not like he didn't have to be a playmaker, but I think he's capable.
What do you guys think? Like, is Puka falling a lot? You think in your drafts? Like, when you guys have been doing your home league drafts so far, has Puka fallen, or are people still taking him around like the average ADP for him? Because I feel like he's falling more often than not. And
I'm not sure what's his average. He goes like around the turn. It feels like.
Like, is he going mid-second now?
No, not.
No, it's
I
like
would
early
say,
second.
I'd say he falls. I see him fall like 1-2 picks, somewhat often, but like never like that deep.
Yeah.
In the one league I did, I think he went 14. It's like right around the turn.
Because that's a guy I want to like see if I can get forced to follow my drafts. Because I was looking at Liam Murphy's teams, and this forced me to like almost immediately start doing more drafts on Underdog. Was he got a Bijan Puka team, and I was like, that sounds like a really fun start, and like trying to build out that. But we will see. I don't know. Wild statistic from Nathan Janke this weekend that I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know how actually predictive it's going to be, but where is it? So this one, let's go to his profile. Basically, Set pointed out that there's a very real chance that Jermaine Burton could be a complete bust based off this statistic, which would be kind of crazy. Unfortunately, my sweet Prince Jamari Thrash is also on this list. But it is.
What's the stat?
Drafted rookie wide receivers with 5+ snaps in the fourth quarter of week 1 preseason games this year, and then it goes to them. That says drafty. Then it gives you the list of like all the guys that it's happened similar to in the past, and like there's no good names, which is awesome.
Okay, so we need 4 more teams.
Yeah, we just need 4 more, I believe, here, right? Yeah. Thoughts on Gibbs at 9, then taking either Etienne or Marvin. I'd rather take Marvin. Yosebas is going to be big this year. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. Yosebas is definitely going to have more of a role than expected. But David Bell is down, so maybe there's a chance. There's Jamarthan Trash. But likely not, unfortunately. Troy Franklin also makes that list. But Jordan Whittington, now on people's radars. Could be the real deal.
He had a pretty good preseason showing.
Would you rather have Tay or Etienne in round 2 after getting Bijan? I'd rather take Devontae Adams. Miso, why are you being so insane?
He's been growing on you, I feel like.
Yeah, I just don't see why. It's just like it's a projected target game, and like historically, the more I look at this, just need 3 more spots to fill here, guys. Where's that list you're reading from? I'm in YouTube as well, chatting. 4 more spots, I guess, unless somebody's switching spots here. I don't know. It's just like he's just going to get a ridiculous amount of targets at the end of the day. Like, and I don't think the Saints are going to be particularly good.
Toothless,
what are you
bust proof.
And it's like I have confidence that Getsy is going to get him the ball. Like, Toothless. Crazy, man. Yeah, just need 4 more spots to fill here. All right, what's the easiest way to do it?
Well, that same guy in my draft that I was saying was taking all the running backs early started taking multiple defenses at the end of the draft too to try to prevent people from getting defenses.
That's just dumb logic on his end.
I know.
Like, you should be swinging for upside. Like, all right. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's got unique takes on how to build. It's kind of my logic, but
I don't think that's
definitely not one that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is this draft a PPR league? Yes, it is going to be a PPR league, is what we're doing here. A mock draft for PPR. I don't think that Achon is really that much of a reach at pick 16, but I can understand the concern for it. But yeah, we just need 4 more people, and we're good to go.
All right. Come on, if you're watching this stream, just hop on.
So we got 5 people here on stream. The link is in the YouTube. It's in the comment section on there. So it is there for you guys to get into. Yeah, just need 4 more, and we'll be good to go. Toothless, you were insane. So you're thinking about getting a Gato, Jackson?
Yeah. Margot and I were talking about it somewhat seriously this weekend. I think it'd just be a lot easier than a dog. Like,
oh, for sure.
Realistically, I don't think we can manage a dog, especially not in like the apartment we have and everything.
They're just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I love dogs, but they're just hard to take care of.
Also, yesterday I was in like the Goodwill that's a couple doors up from my apartment, and there was an automatic feeder in there, and I was like, oh, it's a sign.
Fair. All right, Type has joined the draft. That's good. We know he's in here. All right, we need 3 more people for the draft. 3 more people. All right, let's go to Discord. Toothless, can I help you, sir? Are you trying to say hi? Is that what this is?
He really does love the streams, huh?
So, hey, how we doing? This Toothless man. He's crazy, man. Dude, man's been getting like massive fights with the rest of them or something. Because like we're just checking on him. He's always got like new battle scars. We're like, where did you get these? What did you do? Yeah, I took the 101. A lot of people have been requesting for me to take the 101 to see how I play it. We're going to talk through kind of the logic and strategy, I guess, of how we're going to build it. I've also gotten a lot more optimistic about just the Buccaneers. As much as I hate them, it's just like it's a game stack piece for one sense because I'm very high on Deontay Johnson. But in another facet, like, they're just going to chuck the ball a lot. Like, you just want pieces more likely than not. Yeah, I don't know. Bucks will be interesting if they can convert.
Can we run this without the 10 and 12?
I think we can get 2 more people in here.
Okay.
Let's see here. We got 11 people in the YouTubes. Toothless, what are you doing, dude?
Guys, if you're watching this right now, come on, pull up to this draft. You'll learn a lot. You'll get yourself ready for this next season.
There we go. And you can always look back on it as well and be like, okay, I thought this was a good take. I thought this was a bad take, which is always fun. All right, 2 more spots. 2 más. All right. I'm thinking let her rip. We might just do that, but I want to see if we can get 2 more people in this draft. That's all we need. 2 más people. All right, Toothless, you are crazy.
Okay, we got
one more
person.
All right, we just need 1 more. I like that speaking Spanish apparently helps in the chat. Swinging for upside every pick is crazy. Love crazy weeks, but I think a lot of bad weeks. Imagine starting pick is every. Yeah, no, that is like one of the worst picks on the board continuously. Like upside, I mean referring to like scheme. So like when you look at Pickens, like that's an offense that historically is going to be passing less than like.
Let's get going.
All right, and we will get this draft started. So I'm taking from the 101 here. There's a lot of ways to play this pick. I think that Christian McCaffrey is a more like I think CMC is mostly like the easiest pick to go. It's not this. But like I really don't mind going with Bijan or Jamar here. Like it really does not matter. But I'm just gonna go with CMC. I really think it is fine to go with at the 101. Not gonna overthink it. But my other alternatives would be like Bijan. CD is realistically more than fine. Like it is a pick your poison kind of pick. I really don't think there is a true bad pick at the 101. But yeah, let's see here.
Jama.
See where Jalen goes. Oh my God, you took Brees from me, you bastard. Grant, who you going with?
This is unfamiliar territory for me.
This is kind of weird, yeah.
Lockett Garrett.
Nice. I wanted Brees and Mad Jalen 01 took him from me. But I'm glad Tyreek fell to the 6th.
Yeah, that works out well.
Let's see here. Sorry, sending a match. This is why you hate having the #1 draft pick. Yeah, I figured I'd do it for people and see what people think. I really don't think it's a terrible pick. I'm just not a big ETN guy. Like, I can see it, but like, I don't know. It's a weird pick. Toothless, you are going insane, dude. My God.
Dude, what the hell?
Hear that?
I mean, I guess they don't. I honestly don't even mind it that much. Like, it looks super weird, but it could be pretty fine if ATN has a decent season.
Yeah, like I think he's a good pick. It's just like go get your guys, kind of the deal. Toothless, I love you, sir, but do not step on the keyboard. I don't know. It's just like that's not a guy I would personally be vying for there. Like he honestly falls in some drafts too.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, it's like that was definitely way too early. Just, I mean, I don't think your season's over with those 2 picks by any means. So.
No, I mean it's also not like so big of a reach that like if you just like both those players, then I mean they're not going to fall to you, obviously. So yeah. If you're confident in them, you kind of got to take them there, obviously.
Yeah. Let's see how it's following.
All right, see where Jalen goes now. Mike Evans. I mean, I don't mind it too much. I have the receivers left. I probably would have gone Drake London.
Mike Evans is somebody I just need to be higher on. I feel like realistically, he was great last year. Like, what's to say he's not going to be great again this year? these are the guys that tend to stay, anyways. So I'm trying to shift my stance. I still don't think Drake London's a bad pick. Like here, all right. So there's not really a lot that's left on the board. You can try to make a move for Pacheco. There's a lot of ways to play this. I honestly would probably take the falling value here, just because, like, I don't know. Drake London seems like a fun pick, so I'm just going to queue him up here, and then I'm going to kind of observe the board. As like, is there anyone else that I really like? If we get confirmation about the Brandon Ayuk thing, obviously go with Deebo Samuel here. He might still even be the best pick. If you're high on Nico Collins, I think it's fine.
Come on.
Taking quarterback here is fine. There's a lot of good options at this turn, realistically, but I am curious to see what kind of falls back to us. I don't really like any of the other running backs that fell to me. Receivers, I think I will make a stand and just go with ADP value on this.
I actually like that. Yeah.
Choice. Like, as you guys know, these guys aren't. I'm not super high on, but I can't agree with the overall projected volume. It's just, yeah, 2 receivers you're picking here, I guess, if you don't get any of the running backs you really like. I'm not sold on Henry. I think Pacheco's a more than fine pick. I don't know. I would have loved getting Achon or Kyron, obviously, here, but in a room like this, never going to happen. Let's see here. Who do you think finishes tight end 1? Samuel Florida.
Nah, dude, I keep getting snaked by these guys. All right. Wow. I literally I was either gonna go Pacheco or Deebo, and then both got taken right before.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always fun kind of doing mock drafts to just feel out what is the draft room going to do.
Totally.
I'm surprised Cooper Kupp hasn't been going higher in these mocks for a lot of people, because he's been getting a lot of hype.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really fun team here by Huncho. Let's see. You think going late QB and grabbing Daniel's a good pick? I mean, my whole thing is just get a mobile quarterback. Like, I don't really overthink it too much outside of that. That's just kind of how I play it.
How much are you reading into the Malik Neighbors situation? Seems like he's just day to day.
I'm not really too concerned, but like I'll take him out of like super bullish, like projections, just because it's like, do I really want to be touting too heavily about a guy that's coming into season injured? Not really.
Yeah.
But like I do think he's still gonna have a great season. I'm not particularly concerned. Yeah, this guy is not in a good spot here.
Yeah.
I will agree. This is a little much. You got to have at least one receiver, like, if you're going to do this. Like, I am very confident. Like, you can't do 2 running backs and a quarterback and a tight end.
Yeah,
you got to give somewhere. But who knows? Maybe in a sleeper draft, like, you can figure out a way to make yourself a super team off of that. That is definitely possible. Because there are wild values on the board. I will say that.
The receiver spot's always going to be a little deeper, too. So, like, I mean, we can see who's projected to be on the board for his next pick. Yeah, I mean, it's not
Thank you for blessing me, Mufti.
too special, but a guy like Tank or a T. Higgins or something could fall a couple spots and get there.
Pass on Mahomes. Pass on Mahomes.
I love this Rashad. Like, I'm starting to get more on the Rashad train of, like, if this guy is utilized as a 3-down back, like, he's going to be such a fun pick for redraft.
Yeah, I mean, just a great relative price if he does end up being a 3-down back.
Yeah. Like, there's just a lot of question marks I do have around it as well, but it's like he's going into year 3. Like, yeah, he sucked, but what happened here? Why is Jalen Waddle here?
Are you gonna do it though?
Yeah. Did something happen? Like, I do look at
Not
the
that I
board
know.
and, like, this happens, and I'm like,
I don't think anything happened. I mean, he missed practice with an injury, but it just feels like people are probably just scared because last year was a
so we're all being dumb.
weird year.
All right, so I like him, and then I'm a Tank Dell super truther to a degree, but like, another spot where it's just like this was an ADP value pick. Jalen Waddle goes up here realistically. I just, yeah, you can go with any receiver of your choice. I'm a massive Texans fan, so I'm probably going to go Tank Dell just out of personal bias. I think DK Metcalf is the technical correct pick here because it's another wide receiver 1. Devonta Smith is also kind of enticing because it's like if he is in the CD Lamb role, this is completely mispriced. But this guy commands targets at a top.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the format of the league too, right? Because if this was
Yeah.
like, let's say, a single flex league, like you're probably, even though Dell is better value on the board, you might go elsewhere because like you can't start all those guys.
Yeah, realistically, I probably should have gone with a quarterback there. That was the wrong play on my end, unfortunately. That was the spot to go with Anthony Richardson. So my error in drafting this team so far is I went too receiver heavy early here. I should have taken Anthony Richardson there.
Oh my god, dude, it's hype.
Yeah, but if all of the receivers you drafted live up to the hype you think they will, then you can always be in a spot to make a move and go get.
I mean, the reality is like one of these
Someone
receivers
in any
each
position.
week, 2 of these receivers at minimum are going for at least 20 a week, I'd imagine.
All right,
Yeah, I would think so.
am going to. This is a running back drop off here, so I'm gonna go Joe Mixon. I was gonna go Devontae Smith, but it's hype.
Honestly, in home leagues, the more I'm kind of doing these mock drafts, the more I want to pay my premium on a quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson will drop in most drafts just because he didn't like do anything that everybody was like, "Oh my God, Anthony Richardson!" And that's typically what people want to see in preseason is something that makes them excited.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Daniels doing a 2-yard rushing touchdown for whatchamacallit, like against the Jets. That gets the people going. But let me see. What does Huncho do?
It's
You missed the crazy man in here.
Grant, I'm liking your team.
And the third, to be honest, that's why I'm done
Yeah, I
with it.
feel decent about it.
I agree with that. I don't know. It's always about how the board falls to you, in my opinion. Like, I've kind of grown numb in the sense of like having like must-have guys for fantasy. Like, I have guys I really want, but like, it's just never gonna always go how you want. T. Higgins is a wide receiver 1 is crazy. I like the Terry McLaurin pick, honestly. There's a few other ways to shoot yourself out of that rabbit hole, but problem is with like how I draft, like I just don't. I need to fix. Yeah, you have to go more running back intensive. I feel like in these drafts, honestly.
Yeah. It's
because
pretty
like
thin this year, dude.
There is a lot of receivers that go later on the board that are just like, oh, like you can build yourself out honestly pretty easy. Yeah, Pittman and AR are a very fun stack. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. Let's see here. I can't believe I didn't take Richardson here, though. I feel like that was the ultimate smarter pick. Who do I want to take up here is the real question. I think I want to do that for variability. No, there's still technically things on the table, I guess.
But yeah, did someone just take Monty and Gibbs?
Monty and Gibbs on the same team? That's an approach.
That's what someone just said. I don't know.
There's so many good receiver values on the board.
I know that I like where I just got Keenan Allen.
Like, what are we doing? Like, running back wise, who's even on the board? I just feel fat when I play fantasy football because how greedy I am with a lot of these picks. Finally, somebody reached on Rashee Rice. I was going to do that myself.
Doesn't feel like too bad of a reach. Wait, you were gonna take Rashee there when you have to get receiver number
As I
5?
said, I'm a greedy man. I'm a fat man when it comes to this. I'm gonna buy every single good receiver there is, and then force the market to come to me.
Respect.
Trade talks might not. I was to say you better have CeeDee Lamb if you're gonna take him over Kyler. I like this a lot. Honestly, I don't like DeAndre Swift. I'm just not a DeAndre Swift guy. But I do need a running back here to a degree. I want Zamir White. And I want Kyler.
Damn it.
Reason I personally want Zamir a little bit is because if we're going to be in week 17 and Zamir is there, I want to see these two going against each other because I have a feeling that the Raiders will be winning that game and the Saints will be playing from behind. Swift will be important for the Bears, but I've just never been a DeAndre Swift guy. And maybe that's a bad part of my process. But like, is he really going to be a 3-down back for the Bears? I don't know. But then you can ask the same question about Zamir White. I like Najee Harris there. I just felt like I needed to take a running back there. Let's see here. But is Travis Kelce worth it this year? Yeah, I think Kelce is more than a fine pick. But yeah, I like the mini kind of game stack I have with Olave and Zamir for week 17 if they get there. But DeAndre Swift ultimately is probably the smarter pick. Where is GP's?
Crazy little run on running backs. I feel like it really drops off after that.
It does.
I guess we'll dive into that later.
Are you about to take Deontay Johnson?
Deontay to the root?
Wasn't planning on it. I could potentially though.
Okay.
Probably need to tackle QB with one of these two.
Oh yeah, true.
The 101 is a weird spot in fantasy this year.
I just don't like it because I don't want to draft CMC, but I know every time I get the 101, I'm going to draft CMC.
Well, you just kind of need to
Like
reach a spot. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird, but like when I look at the draft board, like I look down the board, I'm like, oh, like if I was honestly like in the middle spot, I probably would have done that. I don't know, just a lot of interesting picks. So I don't really like Zamir for what it's worth, but I think he's fine for redraft. But I also don't really like a lot of the running backs in that range. But one of these will be good. I just don't like that Najee's in a guaranteed committee, whereas Swift and White could be just running away with their backfields. Zamir White, I feel more safe with that one than I do Swift.
Agree.
So I believe Khalil Herbert is actually good at football. But they don't like Khalil Herbert.
And Roshan Johnson isn't even a bad running back.
Yeah. So, what else? Xavier Worthy Stones. Jorge Kittle. That is true. You know, I am a Najee guy over Jalen Warren. I know. I feel like that's what I would have to do, honestly. Probably just go towards Najee and say, screw it. No. We'll play around. The ultimate pick. I think you go quarterback here, though. I think you go running back, receiver run, unless if you get one of Achon or Kyron back here, who I really like. Yeah. I'm going to need to draft from the 101 a few times to see what the better way to go about this is.
Okay.
Also, Mike Williams. Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying here I'm either going Hopkins or Ladd. I'm going to go Ladd in this situation, though.
Which injury, bro, are we going with? Let's see here. But thoughts on Mike Williams? I'm a big Malachi Corley guy. Really, really, really like Malachi Corley. But we'll ultimately see how that plays out through the season. After all, those two did room together. Malachi Corley lived with Rodgers this offseason. I don't know. Mini Debo, man. Mini Debo. But, yeah. As long as we have smart drafters in here, this should go how I'm expecting it to. But you never know. Sometimes people love to throw wrenches in your kind of build. But we'll see.
Did you say Malachi Corley lived with
Rodgers? Yeah.
That's interesting.
Do you think
just in an apartment
instead of Diggs? No, wherever they're like, I think he that ass lived in his house with them. But yeah, I'm getting a nice little game stack back to me here. So I'm going to take Brock Bowers for my elite tight end option. I do like that falling to me. So the next pick here, I really like Brian Robinson and I really like Devin Singletary. I need to look into splits, but I think I'm going to go with B-Rob just because I do like his talent a lot, and it gives me a little bit of a mini game stack for week.
Come on!
As well. Is it imperative for redraft to do this? No, but I do give slight edges just because I'm curious to see who falls in the draft, and I do prefer some players over one another. B-Rob, I just think he's a good player, and I need one more running back on my squad. If you want, you can go ahead. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a great pick for what it's worth. I imagine he'll go off the board. Who else is in this range? Interesting receivers that you can probably scroll down for. Troy Franklin, I think, is dead, unfortunately, which is definitely interesting. If you're looking for a late round tight end, Taysom Hill seems to be very alive. So we will continue to be Taysom Hill touters. Dude, Dontavian Wicks going down in 155 is crazy. Let's see here. Same with Jalen Polk.
Yeah, dude, I know. I've been noticing that fall in Dontavian. I've been drafting him up.
Yeah, and that's what I want to look through here is if I ever get into a true pinch, how do I build myself out of this? Who are the receivers I can realistically turn to?
Goddard over Njoku?
Stacking him with Jalen Hurts.
Fair.
I think that's fine. I mean, you can also make a counter argument. You can get David Njoku for a mini game stack with Hill in week 17.
Yeah, true.
I would probably put more emphasis on Njoku there. I think I need to be higher on him. Somebody was too low on throughout the season.
I like him. I like Njoku talent-wise a lot. I'm just curious about his situation, how he'll be utilized, and all that.
Huncho's going to get Njoku here, I think. If not, I mean, he can really push it if he wants, actually. But it depends on what he really wants to push it for and why. And by push it, I mean he doesn't have a tight end. Everybody else has a tight end. They don't need a tight end. So he's in the perfect spot to get the best value out of Njoku possible.
Yeah.
If he's in a room full of smart drafters, which unfortunately we're not always in a room full of smart drafters. Estime or Charbonnet, I still think Estime has a more likely path to being logical. I know Watson sucks with Njoku. That is my concern as well.
Yeah, that is something worth considering. I didn't really think about that.
Seems like y'all are jumping aboard the Goddard train.
Let's see. Ain't nobody believe you on what, Bubba? What did I tell you about Bo Nix and Estime? Bro, I've been the one telling people about Estime. I don't want to hear shit out of anyone's mouth saying they were telling me about Estime. Bo Nix, I was with market on. I wasn't high on him. I wasn't low on him, but I probably have more shares of Bo Nix than anyone in fantasy this year, honestly. In my Superflex league, I did the Pomeranian thing on Underdog when it came out like the second day. I just decided to check what my exposures were. I had 97% Bo Nix. So
damn, Jesus.
You have 97% Bo Nix
in one contest. Yes, I was like, that was not what I was expecting, but I guess here we are.
That's something.
So, guess we're expecting big things out of them.
Good luck.
Joe Lombardi's done it with one Oregon quarterback.
Fact.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Swift beats my logic. Like, I'm going to be wrong on plenty of players this year. I'm wrong on plenty of players every year. It's just, unfortunately for me, I'm not omniscient yet. I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. But we're not just there yet. Great late round pick. I need to look at the snap shares. Didn't KJ Osborne do better than people were expecting? Khalil Shakir, love that. I was honestly hunting for him a little bit later. Would have
I
taken
thought you
Rashad
won big on Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, but the snaps have to force you to think otherwise. If you see these guys out there with the ones, and they're in the two wide receiver sets, you have to put personal bias aside and just be like, this is likely the better argument. Now, do I believe that Curtis Samuel is still going to be extremely relevant on that team? Hell yeah. Because the thing is, you still want the receivers who can, separate at a very high level. And, Curtis Samuel is that guy for them. But they are going to continue to give Keon Coleman shots in the preseason because they want to see what he does against actual competition, not against what their current conglomerate is. So there's a lot of great late receivers you can get. I'm going to talk through two of which I like here a lot once he takes his pick. So,
come on.
Who do I want to go with first? So you can basically now you're just kind of trying to fill out your bench, looking for handcuffs that you like a lot. So guys who have been impressing in preseason, like a Ray Davis is a good idea here. Bucky Irving kind of shows out a little bit from what he did on the kick returns. But Josh Downs should not be falling in drafts. I'm just going to put him in queue here.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine by the time it comes back to preseason, from what it sounds like, and he's been popping off. A rule I have this year is lead with a New England receiver. Probably Jalen Polk isn't going to be a guy out the gate who is of real interest, but he should be on your radar. So I'm going to leave him available for somebody else. I'm going to go take Ray Davis because I really like how he continues to show. And James Cook was not impressive to me. Jerry Jeudy's already back battling this hamstring injury once again. So it's like, do we really want to do the Jerry Jeudy show again? I don't know. There's little hope for my boy Jamari Thrash, but it does seem like every receiver in front of him continues to get injured. David Bell out for another week. Let's see here. Jerry Jeudy, hamstring injury. Elijah Moore in and out of concussion protocol. We're trying to find ways to be alive. Let's see here. But I don't mind it if you want to be high on the Browns as a whole. I think my perception on, what do I call it? Njoku was too low out the gate. Third pick in fantasy superflex is Mahomes, a horrible pick. No, Mahomes is a more than fine pick. I just think that like the QB1 this year should be Jalen Hurts for fantasy. Like there's just nobody in really a better system with more pace / weapons with their talents around him. Slicky Ricky.
Josh Allen's pretty close. I feel
For
like
2 yards in his first game. He's still a handcuff, but if we look at what James Cook did, what did James Cook do? I don't think James Cook did anything better.
I mean, I thought he closed last year strong in general.
Yeah, but he's talking about preseason
No,
snaps.
prime. I'm so dumb for
Oh,
thinking
yeah, 4 carries.
Dowdle was actually
20
going to come
yards in
back
the TD.
around.
That's good for him.
Why did I think Rico Dowdle was going to come back around to me? That was so dumb.
Oh, wait, no, this is 2023. I was looking at the wrong one. I was like, damn, he must have had a much better game than I'm remembering. I was like, I don't remember him doing all that. That's 2023 preseason. Let's see what he did to this one. Let's see here. Because I'm always willing to triple check my stuff. I didn't. Fair enough. Because at the end of the day, like I get plenty of stuff wrong. Like I thought Rico's coming back too. So we don't actually know 4 characters too. Yeah, dude. Like I think the run game was just not efficient. So I'm willing to kind of scratch that game for them. I don't know. Is Rico going to be the actual starter for them? That is the real question mark. Because he was getting reps with the backups, but I think that is due to lack of depth more than likely. But we'll see. The Gus Bus.
Good guess, but
See, the thing is, like, Pat Freiermuth is such a good late pick if this trade doesn't go down.
facts. I feel like it's worth picking him up, like in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Kenneth Walker's a fun pick, man. Like, it sounds more and more like he's going to be a true 3-down back, so it's like you should be buying the hype on it. Shaheed and Dontavian Wicks, I don't mind. You're playing for upside at this point because there's probably not a lot of wide receiver ones left. Who could be helpful?
That might have been a little early to take Charbonnet, but I think on teams where you have Walker, it's helpful.
Yeah, and at this point, you're just kind of playing for handcuffs, and you're just like, all right, where do I find the best value?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Because these picks technically suck. I need to see this man in pads. I need to see him in pads. And there's no more starting running backs. We don't even know if Kendrick's really making the roster, if I'm being honest. So, all right.
Give me that. There we go.
Oh, it's always in. Jalen Tolbert hype. What do you guys think of the Jalen Tolbert hype? I'm probably not going to be buying in, but I
So done
remember
with that guy.
There was something weird in his draft profile forever ago. Oh, there goes Jalen Poole.
So done with that guy.
Let's see.
I feel like every year the Jalen Tolbert hype gets drawn out.
think it's more and more dramatic. Ah, damn it. He stole my favorite player. He stole my man for the year. But I will take the PPR scammer. So you do just want to leave the draft with a Denver running back no matter what. Samaje Perine fine too. Like there's a lot of them that are going to be getting decent work, it seems. So we're just taking that for the culture there. Trying to see, is there anything else that I really love? Going to be taking the chance on this receiving room in case if it's somehow not Brian Thomas Jr. and it's somehow the Gabe Davis show. I doubt it will be, but you never know. But realistically, handcuffs at this point are all you're looking for. There's not too much intriguing picks on the board anymore. If you want to take a dart on Javon Baker, that's fine. But like, I think he was put in as the wide receiver 8, so it would take quite some time for him to be relevant. So we want to try to see if we can get some more relevant, immediate impact players if we can here. Like probably Bucky Irving was a sharper pick there, honestly. Samaje is a fine pick too. Yeah, Bucky Irving still on the board. That's probably one I should have done there instead of Gabe. What I think Huncho could have done different. We'll go into reviewing the team soon enough here. Have you done any best ball stuff? Fun to play around with? Yeah, I've done over 200 best ball drafts at this point. I love best ball.
I love
best ball.
Jackson, there's your guy.
Oh yeah,
Tyrone Tracy.
Dude,
I
these
think
guys
he showed out, if I I correctly. Feelings
he
of
did
Marvin
look
Harrison Jr. at 2.5 in a 10-man league. I think it's more than 5. Just getting into it, dude. It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
I don't normally go Mike Williams. I think I'm gonna
go Samaje Perine or Greg Dortch. I'd probably have more interest in Greg Dortch. Gregathan Dortch. I don't hate my team, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you.
Just like all the guys that you would be hunting for, like at the very end of your actual draft, are just not even close to there. They were taken 3 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Malachi Kwame. Fun upside swing, especially if Garrett Wilson goes down. But then maybe it's out of Lazard season.
What defense do I think is undervalued? Dude, do you know what defense is definitely undervalued from a fantasy perspective? It has to be the Saints, right?
The Saints is going to be one of the best teams to attack week in and week out because they just don't have an offensive line. So your sack points are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But the interesting part to it this year is like, I want to see how many of those touchdowns came from returns this past weekend. Like, it's probably not a lot, but if we're getting like 1 to 2 each weekend, like that is probably a winning defense for the weekend if you can find those. Pick up Jamal Williams, definitely possible. Trade Brees and Johnson. All right, I don't do trade questions on the stream. I apologize once again. You think Laporta is going to draft at ceiling and will regress with touchdowns? No, I think that Laporta is a great pick.
Yeah, damn, Mexi Madden just went no D.
So screw it.
Streaming.
He's just searching for the upside.
Don't you dare take him, Prime. Let's go.
chewing clock to draft a kicker is nasty work. Bruh.
Just juiced it for Young, huh? That's crazy.
And he took him with like 1 second left.
Who will be this year's Zach Wilson to target?
Oh, Jackson, I see you have taken the man today.
Yeah, I did. I did end up taking him. Too good a value to pass up.
Wait, this dude on the end doesn't have a kicker, or how did he even do that?
I guess.
I guess you can not take one.
Yeah, exactly. You can just stream him.
Just say no.
Anything for correlation I want.
Kind of defeats the purpose of the mock draft, but
I like Evan McPherson a lot this year.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's not really a reason to have a kicker on a mock draft team anyway.
Yes, I would be buying JSN. Do I like Jacobs this year? I'm questionable on him. Yeah, so Buccaneers play the Commanders week 1. So if you want a defense I will be touting probably in week 1, it will probably be the Buccaneers to a degree. But we will see. I'm expecting a lot of sacks. You would hope at least. But at the end of the day, defense is just matchup driven. Wow, this is so entertaining. I'm sorry, Blicky boy. I just
I
focus
feel like the
on
last 2 rounds we can just end early.
pretty much.
Like,
okay. I'm
I just
thinking.
focus on the YouTube for these. This is more to just have people funnel into the YouTube if it.
yeah.
I will do fantasy ranks later and interact with this page a lot more then. Sorry about not interacting with you as much now. But with that said, we'll let these kind of play out here and we'll break down the teams. So for my team here, I already kind of talked through some things that I just didn't like I did in my draft. Ultimately, I think it's an okay team. Jesus Christ. I don't know. There's pieces I love about it. There's pieces I hate about it. Like here, I kind of wish I went towards Anthony Richardson, but it's like I got Kyler Murray back here, which is really good as well. My only thing is like my running backs. I'm just not super confident in him. I feel like I need a better running back too than Zamir White. So this is a team I would probably be interested in trading out of. I should have taken Bucky Irving here instead of Gabe Davis for an upside swing. A lot of ways to kind of play that out. Let's see here. So on to Asselbrook. So CD. So I don't like the running back room. One of these will bust. I'm very confident in that. Just it's up to you to determine which one of those. So if you're going to take one of these running backs, I really encourage you not to take 2 running backs that switch teams together, regardless of how optimistic we might be about the situation. I think the Kincaid pick is a great pick, but there is questions about the snaps, but I wouldn't overthink it. DK Metcalf, great pick. I talked even about maybe I should have taken that here over Dell technically, but I'm a Texans fan, so I'm a homer on that. Chonky, is not the time. Let's see here. So Dak combining with CD Lamb, I think that's more than fine. Raheem Mostert, you like old running backs, I can tell. But yeah, I mean, this could easily be a guy that's completely mispriced. Wouldn't be surprised if he's a smash. Jalen Warren, kind of fun guy to have this year. So I'm okay with the running backs. Not the biggest fan of them. Receiver, I think you just chose some of the worst picks on the board. I wanted to be optimistic, but this isn't the team. You're going to need to go to waivers pretty quickly. Keon Coleman could just prove us all wrong, but I'm just very confident he's not going to be a good receiver in this league, so that's a guy that could prove me wrong. CD and DK are great for week to week, but your up late swings just aren't really that great with Quentin Johnson, Brandon Cooks. I can see it with Jacoby, but it's you really need Devontae Adams to become less and less relevant this year. And even though he had his spike weeks, I'm just not confident in this scheme that is going to be the case. But with that said, moving on to Graham fan here. Bijan, Josh Allen, Travis Kelce. Fun little start here. I think it's fine to get a little bit more unique. But if you don't get a single receiver in the first 3 rounds, you have to take one in the fourth,
Yeah,
in my
and
opinion.
this team as a whole is done for receiver wise. Like,
Yeah. This is it's way too thin at receiver. You're way too thin. Like, Amari Cooper is the only one that I can sit here and be like, he has a chance, and it's very limited. Like, Deshaun's coming off shoulder surgery. We don't like that. They throw at a very low rate in Baltimore, or at one of the lower rates in the league. Odunze is the wide receiver 3 in his own offense. Like, you really need a late season smash there. Way too thin at receiver here. Didn't need these running backs. Plenty of other ones you could have taken on the board here that you can see that were taken in front of you that are much, much better picks. Over to It's Hype.
great team here.
Yeah, love it. Nothing bad to say about it. This pick will get you kind of advancement. You're taking this for IR. I used to love this team. Really fun team.
Little thin at running back, it feels
A
like.
little
but
too thin at running back, but yeah.
they are guys that could have a good season, though. And Chuba should
you're
be a
gonna have
guaranteed
to-
starter for at least the first few weeks.
I think
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to like what Wells said about his. Like Najee is probably not good enough of a wide receiver too, but like going with this format, I feel like in general isn't necessarily the worst idea.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to figure out your RB2 here is essentially the strat, and you're willing to pay the price on the receivers to figure that out, which I think is ultimately fine. Let's see here. I honestly don't mind making more of an agenda-based kind of logic for Rachaad White in this range. That's kind of where I've been at. Let's see here. Jalen, all right, what do you got here? Brees, Mike, Devo, love that start. James Cook, I mean, we're Ray Davis truthers here, but ultimately it's a smart pick relative to the scheme. Javonte, great pick realistically. Jameson Williams, he has more upside than people are willing to give. He had, all right, this is so I talked about a lot of picks being the worst pick on the board before. This has now become the one to take the cake. Kamani Vidal. Fighting to even make the roster at this point. So we want to be very low on Kamani Vidal's collective. Moving on, though, I do like the team outside of this pick. But yeah, you also don't need a secondary quarterback here. Like, you have an elite one here. You don't need to switch off. Let's see here. Jackson's team, love it. As you know, I'm not a big Mixon and White guy, but I see the arguments for them essentially. Trey Benson, handcuff, I can see the upside. Ty Chandler, handcuff, can see the upside. Keenan could generally be the wide receiver 1, wouldn't be surprised. Good value on Reed. McConkey is all about injury question marks. Dubs, I like that you have these two paired. A lot of fun there. Mike Williams, we really don't know. We really don't know. It's him or Corley that's going to pop. Let's see here. Jefferson, Puka, Ayuk, Andrews. Yeah, I mean, this is just a crazy. You have 3 of the better receivers in the league like this. I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of these guys ended up top 10. Mark Andrews, I have concerns, but ultimately strong pick. Running back room terrifies me, but you're playing for upside, so I get for it. Like, James Conner, I think, is a good pick. It's just like Ramondre. It's like, I can't ever confidently be like, a guy on a 4.5 win team at that price is somebody I want to be touting. Like, it's a lot easier to get behind the guys who are on 4.5 win teams when they're priced beyond the draft point, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Ridley, Thomas, love the upside that you're shooting for there. I think your receiving room is extremely fun. Love the upside with the quarterback. Really, really fun team. Just need to figure out your running back room. Similar issues that we've talked about with other teams on here, though. But it's just about how your draft room plays it. Ultimately, I like it, though. Monra, JT, Nico Collins, Alvin Kamara. So it's like PPR scam away. I get it. I see the logic. But this is behind the worst offensive line in the league. Like, how long are we going to really be able to put equity behind this pick? And I wouldn't be surprised if just Alvin Kamara is a cockroach and just like stays alive and is just dominant from fantasy this whole entire year just to like spite me. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But George Pickens, I can confidently say, is one of the worser picks on the board. I don't see a world where they're like, hey, Russ, we want you to throw the ball 36 times a game, 34 times a game. This is going to be a run-first scheme. It's just the volume is going to be very difficult to pay off this price point. Fortune favors the bold with Christian Kirk here. Grant outlined good logic for kind of where market was scared last year and how we might be kind of doing the same thing over again. But there is risk that lies in that. Theoretically, has his hamstrings or whatever actually equivalent sizes. Maybe that can make him into a more, just a better route runner. I don't know if that will translate, but we'll see. Ezekiel Elliott and Jalen Wright. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott looks to be the guy that's going to be there, but it's just like, oh, great, let's just go roller skating on pavement, or dirt. Like, you're just not going to get very far very fast. Jalen Wright, I think very fun upside pick realistically in that offense. Like, this guy, I shouldn't. This player really, based on his profile, shouldn't give me concern about this one. But smart people continue to tell me that this one should. So we are going to continue to be more optimistic about him. Let's see here. Huncho squad. Love this start here. Marvin Cooper Cup stacks, really fun. Gibbs, week 17. Love it for PPR. Safe pick. David Monty, you're kind of hedging yourself there. You don't necessarily need to do that. But I get your kind of – I think the thesis for the running back room in this team was like, I'm not confident that I'm going to get somebody else that I really like. So I'm going to try to push forward to get to Jonathan Brooks when he's back. And I don't think that's terrible. But if you're going to do that, do it with Aaron Jones. Oh, shit, Aaron Jones got taken. Damn. But, yeah, Aaron Jones would have been the ideal guy to do this with because I think he's the ultimate type of play to do it with. I don't mind the strat, though. It's just like you're going to be really thin on running back points some week. But I get your take. Trying to find the RB2 through handcuffs. I think that's fine. David and Joker, we talked about you playing the value game with tight end. Thought that was wise. We also talked about like the probability for in a sharp room. These guys probably won't take Njoku still. So you can still be a little bit more aggressive in other areas if you feel the necessity for it. So like guys like Tyjae Spears and Jerome Ford and Chase Brown ultimately could have been actually really good picks for your team, and then you could have taken Njoku here. That being said, you did take Shakir. I don't mind it. His ADP is really going to end up in this range. But yeah, with that said, I like the upside that you took with your team overall. But moving on. AJ Brown, Kyron Williams, DJ Moore, Malik Neighbors. I think it's a very fun start. High projection for Kyle Pitts. Don't mind it. Joe Burrow, you're searching for the RB2. One of the worst picks on the board. We're going to continue to emphasize that to you guys. This isn't Jonathan Brooks, where it's a rookie coming off ACL. We have optimism, right? This is a 28-year-old man coming off of another terrible knee injury. Like, how often do we want lightning to strike, you know? It's probably not going to happen that often. Let's see here. Adonai Mitchell, fun kind of upside swing, but I think he's more of a developmental prospect than people want to admit. Yeah, you're taking some fun upside swings late here at receiver. I think it's a fun team. I like how you built your initial structure. I think this is a strong team. I think this will be at least in the playoff semifinals. Like, just the build itself is just very, very strong. I like it. Garrett Wilson, Saquon Barkley, Michael Pittman. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Grant beat him to the punch with Aaron Jones here. Got a lot of fun picks. We really don't know about Curtis Samuel and the exhibit we'll get, so the reality is potentially too thin at receiver, but like it all depends on how you want to play the board. Like I would have taken Wicks here over Leggett personally, but like I think you're hedging yourself on Deontay Johnson. Might be the logic, but not ultimately like really strong team. Like it's fun. You're taking handcuffs late to try to find the value.
Yeah, I feel like in situations like this where I'm not like the most confident in Kenneth Walker, but it just kind of felt like the right value play there. So then you kind of feel necessary to take a little bit of a reach and take Charbonnet when you can.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Like here, you want to make sure these are filled. So that's what I'm saying.
You never want to root for injuries, obviously, but in situations like this, if one of them goes down, you're in a better spot than you were if both of them are healthy. So you can kind of hedge out a little bit. But yeah, I kind of liked being in this slot. I like the way the team kind of built itself. The top end, like I don't love having Garrett Wilson in the first. I feel like it kind of drops off a little bit after 9.
Dude, he could be top 5 this year, though.
He could, but the Gibbs, Amon-Ra, kind of like 8-9 area feels like the drop off starts a little bit after that, but you're able to get Saquon and Pittman and everything after that. So I was content with where it.
That's fair.
fell.
As I said, we like Grant's team, and I like the reaches you had as well.
I like Grant's team a lot in this one, actually. Yours might be. I think yours or It's Hype might be my favorite two teams on this.
Yeah. There's just a lot of reaching on this team that like I don't like. You were so out, then you're so in, then you're so out, then you're so in. Like it's so weird. Like you did so many right things, but so many wrong things. Like
respect it.
ETN, why? here. Like maybe he just he didn't finish the RB3 this last year, so it's like we could all just be drastically wrong on how we're projecting him. But like I'm also just like no. Achon, I think that's a good reach. Lamar Jackson, fine. Trey McBride, I have questions. But like I can see the logic is like anytime like I disagree with the pick, I want to at least try to find the logic. Like I can see the logic here. T. Higgins and Terry McLaurin, I think those are great picks. Realty, Jordan Addison, fine pick. Xavier Rogers, fine pick. These are just like upside wide receiver twos. That like you need higher level receivers. Like I love the running backs that you took late here. Like these are some of the best late round running backs there is. But it's like if you know that you can kind of get these guys later based on how you're drafting, like I don't know, like it's just such a weirdly built team. Like you basically built such a strong 8th place team. Like I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, that's just kind of my commentary on that. I hope that's helpful in some light of the word. As I said, I would have definitely changed some ways. I would have gone about building my team, but ultimately you just got to kind of go with how the draft comes to you. And unfortunately, it's not always going to go the way you want it to. But hopefully you guys found this fun. That's kind of how I drafted from the one spot, talked through it a little bit. Hopefully I didn't annoy Jackson and Grant too much with my typical yapology that we end up going on here for the end.
No, this is good.
Right, you know, I love a good yapology session.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, appreciate you guys here. I'll probably be on yelling some more once I've done a bit more research. Right now, the big project working on is just funneling out exactly the different pass rates for all the different quarterbacks. So adjusting rankings with that. So, all right, appreciate y'all. Until next time, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and be in here for the next mock draft we do. Until then,
thanks for tuning in, guys.